younger, I heard this term, why is easy listening music so hard to listen to? And now that I'm older, it's peace of mind. It's funny how that works when they get older. It had nothing to do with my speech. I just caught the word listening. I thought that would be interesting to catch your attention. A couple of weeks ago, I spoke on HELLO, which was an acronym for Help Everyone Learn Leadership in an Outstanding Way. Well, today, it coincidentally works for Help Everyone Learn Listening in an Outstanding Way. And there's going to be some prizes, so I know you're going to want to pay attention and listen. Fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. I see them outside all the windows. They can't wait to get in here. And I said there's going to be millions of dollars in prizes, potentially. Or some skills that you'll learn today in listening. Now I need two teams to complete this task. This is team 1, and this is team 2. Team 1, I need a speaker, which I'm going to designate Sherry. You don't mind?
I don't mind.
Great. And on team 2, I'm going to nominate Nam as a speaker. I just need to borrow you for 2 minutes, and you'll have a surprise little tabletop in the middle of my talk. Also, I need an observer and a listener. So, observer and listener. And on this side, John, you can observe since you're doing the roll timer, just observe. And Mike, you could, or one of you guys could just observe. Now to get rolling. Now since wow. Does somebody actually have, since I'm videotaping, an extra smartphone with an extra timer on it? And how to find it real quick. Great. I just need 2 minutes on the clock. And on team 2, I'm going to tell a speaker on this side a topic, and then speak for 2 minutes. And then the listener, one of you guys, will listen, and I'll ask you to respond in 1 minute what you heard. So here's your topic now. You stand up, and he has 2 minutes.
Okay.
You just stand up right there, that's fine, and say an answer to this topic. How can our police be more effective? Go.
Topic master. Police can be effective if they become one of us. Policing is not a parenting function. It is part of a community to keep order and harmony within all of us. But in order to do all that, they have to be part of us. They have to understand what's going on in the neighborhood, to know the neighborhood. Surprisingly, I find out that postmen are actually a better policemen because they go to your route every day. They know more about you than sometimes you know about yourself. Sometimes you're not going to go and say, hey, something's not happening right to you. They ask you, they tell you all about it. Policemen, it's not somebody come out there and just start wielding with signing, with all these infections, only needed when necessary. It's not something that we don't need people to tell us exactly what to do. They should be part of it, just keep order when things don't go quite right. But in order to do that, we all have to be known with all of us as part of policing. We've got to be part of the community, be in all of us, understand the community, and that's how you're going to keep being good policing. That's what police work is all about. In addition to all of this, is that police can do a great function in terms of what can they really help the young community. Young people can be model for all of us to follow, to keep not only order, but also be part of the role model for others to see what it's like to be a civil society.
Time's up. Thank you. Now on this team, when it's got, how about John? Take 1 minute to stand up and say what you think you heard.
Nam spoke about how can our police be more effective. Nam explained that police officers should be one of us. They should be a part of the community. Oftentimes, a post person is a better observer of what happens in the community than a police officer is. The police officer should be known to all of us. And in addition, he or she should understand the community as a whole and help the young individuals in the community by being a role model for them.
Thank you. So listening skills, we know we should learn it. We need to bring our functioning ears with us. Thank you for letting me borrow your ears as well.
You're welcome.
And the observers, Mike, John, Tanya, the speaker, you did pretty good in listening.
Excellent.
Yes. Okay. And now you guys are not off the hook. And now Sherry, and if Nam, you can time Sherry to get even. Of course, Sherry will talk for 2 minutes on how we can make our streets safer. How we can make our streets safer. Go.
How can we make our streets safer? Are we talking about Boca? Are we
Any-
talking about Del Rey? Any streets. Get rid of some of the people. That's not an option, I understand that. How can we make our streets safer is certain intersections have a lot of accidents. I really think the engineers in whatever city that you're in needs to look at this and take in consideration how many accidents are at an intersection. I know for a fact here in Boca, since we are in Boca at Blades Road, that intersection is very dangerous, and by the time it goes to the commission and it goes from the commission to someone else, that is where the time has to be crunched a little bit, in my opinion, so that they can make a decision faster and then get to it, not take a year later after we have 200 deaths. On I-95, I just went down to Miami. That was taking your life into your hands. The express lanes, somehow they need to make things clearer. They need to mark the streets, find the money in the budget somewhere, and mark streets. I just found out that Northwest 42nd Avenue and Lejeune Road are the same road. You do not know that when you're going off of a really, really busy highway. People who live there may have an advantage, but how many people travel to the airports? How many people travel to the hotels down there? How they can make them safer is common sense. Try to take out all the engineer and this is the way it should be, and just think what will make common sense for the common person to be able to look at the signs and drive and make faster decisions and get them in place faster.
Time's up. Now our listener, Toastmasters Sue. 1 minute on the clock for Toastmasters Sue.
Well, the way to make our streets safe, according to Sherry, is one way is to get rid of people. Let's do that, folks. Be mindful of intersections where there are plenty of accidents. Bring that to the attention of the commissioner so that make it safer for the neighborhood. 95, take your life into your own hands. I know that is. You go over there and you don't ever come back. Just make sure that you have paid all your debts and you're in God's hands. Clear signs. Just when I was going to the convention in June of 42, it's like, okay. So you turn that on the moment and you could cause an accident because you get distracted or you get stressed. Local knowledge should be widespread to all of them, just like Sherry said. It's known to the people that travel that route all the time, that we're coming from other countries or other states or other further west, now north, we don't know. Common sense, I like that. Common sense is the one that should rule whenever you're designing your signs and streets, not the engineers, because they just
Time's up.
put the model.
Thank you. And now, Laura and the speaker, Sherry, how did our listener do? On track?
points and even elaborated on them. And I also agree with you completely that the roads down there are merely a, worry for your own life. And they do need to get more coordinated. I can't even begin to understand why they haven't done that yet. And hopefully the younger people on board will get their acts together and do something electronically to let you know about their hazards.
Thank you. Not only do you learn about listening, you got your money's worth, you learned about police, safety, and now I'm going to read a short paragraph for you. As you just experienced in every communication situation, there is a sender and a receiver. The problem is too many people are sending and too few are receiving. Here's another fact to think about. Hearing is not the same as listening. Hearing is to listening as what seeing is to reading. Hearing is merely one step in the process of listening. Listening involves receiving, organizing, interpreting, responding to the information that's heard. Modern research tells us that without training, most of us are poor listeners. Listen to these 9 techniques for better listening. Like to listen, ignore distractions, summarize, tame your emotions, eliminate hasty judgments, never interrupt, inspire openness, need to listen, and generate conclusions. Can somebody please tell me one of those 9 just now?
Organized.
Organize. One of those 9. Get closer.
Need to listen.
Oh, summarize, I guess, was organized. The need to listen. Okay. Well, you get a prize anyway. For my volunteers, here is the potential to win millions of dollars. Millions of
This
dollars.
is a winner.
I promise you millions. And playing the role, and thank you for videotaping.
Great.
Now we turn the lecture into our Toastmasters.